Okay, it is 5:52. I wanted to start closer to 5:30, 5:45 dinner, but I'm also working on a closet clean out. I feel like I've been filming all sorts of stuff today, and I went over a little bit, but that's okay. Got to a good stopping point. I'm going to bring you guys along with dinners this week. I'm not quite sure how many I'm gonna share with you guys, but we'll just go with the flow and see what happens. I have plans on making something every single night, and then the weekend just eating on leftovers. I'm gonna preheat my oven for these garlic knots, 425. So we're gonna get that going. 425. And that way that's preheating while I am starting on we are having ravioli, but I am bulking it up a little bit. I have this sweet Italian ground sausage. So first up, I have a gas cooktop, or gas oven, I guess, and stovetop. So I've got that going. I am going to add just a little bit, this is olive oil, a little bit of olive oil in here. That heat up, and then I'm going to add my ground sausage and cook it completely through. Okay, the sausage is almost done. I just turned the heat down a little bit so it wouldn't burn while I am dicing up my zucchini. So I have 2 zucchinis here, and what I like to do is I cut the ends off, and then, oh, hold on, I still have like non-cold groceries over here on my counter. Like, I do not have a whole lot of space. I feel a little claustrophobic. I'm making dinner tonight, but it is what it is. I had other things that I wanted to get done today. And then to dice my zucchini, I like them to be fairly small. So I cut that into thirds. I don't know if you could see that, but I cut it into thirds. And now I'm just going to dice it, and I'm going to toss it in the pan with my Italian sausage. And of course my pup is talking to me. I'm gonna have to have one of the kids take her out so I can finish dinner. But see, just little pieces of zucchini. I'm gonna add it in my skillet with the ground sausage, and that is how we are going to bulk up our ravioli. All right, so our Italian sausage is done. I've got the 2 zucchinis in here. I feel like 2 is a good number for the amount of sausage in here. So now I'm going to is down over here. All right, I've got what is this, 24 ounce of Rao's. My flavor is tomato basil. They have lots of different flavors. I go between this one and the marinara a lot, I feel like. So I'm going to add this in here. And then I'm also going to add a little water in my jar to get all of the sauce out. I put the lid on, give it a shake, and then it just gets all the extra spaghetti sauce out. I'm gonna add that in here. Swapping out my spatula for a spoon. Stir this all around. I have my heat on medium right now. So I'm just gonna get this stirred together. Let this just lightly boil, and I'm gonna get my garlic knots. Oh, you guys can't even see them. I'm gonna get my garlic knots ready because we're on a sheet pan because the oven just dinged. I've got my garlic knots on my sheet pan. I do spray it. I have this avocado oil spray that I use. So I sprayed that. This is like lightly bubbling here. I'm gonna get these in the oven. Boom. And we are going to cook them for 9 minutes. All right, I am going to let this boil for about 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna add the ravioli in, because the ravioli really only takes like 4 to 5 minutes to cook. My garlic knots have about 6 minutes, so it is time to add the ravioli. I have this family size of mozzarella cheese ravioli, and I'm just gonna dump the entire package in my skillet. I'm going to stir it up, and these are just refrigerated ravioli, so that's why they do not take very long. Even frozen ravioli or tortellini, kind of filled pasta you want to use, does not take long at all, because I don't want it to be like falling apart. But see how I just love how the Italian sausage and zucchini really bulk up a pasta dish. All right, I feel like That's pretty well covered, distributed. I don't know why I flatten it out. You guys do that? Like flatten it out every time. Okay, I'm leaving that on medium for maybe like 3 minutes, and then I'll put it on low for the last few minutes of the garlic knots. All right, now we're over here on this side of the stovetop, and I have this bag, a salad kit. I was going to eat this for lunch this past week, and I did not. So we definitely need to eat it. It doesn't look like it's bad or anything from the outside. It is a couple days past the date that it has on here, but it still, yeah, it still looks nice and green. So I'm going to add that as a side to dinner tonight so we can eat it up. And I don't know if I said which one of it. It is the chopped salad kit, market side, which is Walmart, and it's pizza ranch. I have never tried this one before. I feel like the kids will like it. I'm like dropping lettuce everywhere. Good thing I just wiped all the counters down. Okay, so these look like some pizza flavored croutons or something, maybe like the crust of a pizza. We're just gonna dump in all the fixins that it came with. We got some little pepperonis. Yep, diced pepperoni. I feel like this will go good with pasta. You know, like pizza and pasta, an Italian feel. We got some mozzarella cheese here. And all of these just came with the salad kit. And then this is probably like pizza ranch. One thing is I never use all of, oh, I'm gonna need my scissors for this. Hold up. I never use all of the dressing that these salad kits come with because I feel like it comes with a lot, and sometimes it can be very overpowering. So I just kind of drizzle it over the top and then see how much is left. It's like a quarter maybe of it left. I had to turn the heat down on the stovetop. My ravioli is looking done. And then I just use tongs. They're just so easy to mix these types of salads just to get everything all mixed together. So give that a good mix, and this is gonna go on the side of our dinner. And even though I started late, I definitely timed that right because Mark just texted me saying he was on his way home. So that's gonna work out great. All right, there is a dinner for tonight. It is 6:19. I already forgot what time we started, but definitely a quick and easy. We've got a side salad, a garlic knot, and some ravioli that I just jazzed up the sauce a little bit to bulk it up, get a little extra protein and veggies in there. Okay, another day of trying to get my closet done. It's a bigger task than I thought for sure. But it is time for me to make dinner. So tonight I am doing something a little different. Don't really have a recipe for this. I'm just winging it. It's gonna be a take on the easy enchilada casserole where all you do is you take a baking dish and you put some refried beans on the bottom. Then you place in however many taquitos you can put in there. And then you drizzle a can of red enchilada sauce on top of that. Top it with shredded cheese, and then you just bake it in the oven until the cheese is melted. It's nice and bubbly, you know? So I do not have any taquitos, but I have a few other ingredients that I just want to use up in my house. So I'm going to start my stovetop. I've got my skillet here. I just drizzled a little bit of olive oil in it. I'm going to put it on medium high. I have 1 1/4 pound of ground turkey here that has been in my freezer forever. And then I took it out late last week, because I was gonna make some tacos and I just never ended up doing it. So now we're gonna turn it into this lazy enchilada casserole, but it's a little less lazy, a little bit of cooking, more cooking involved, but still easy peasy. And since it's mostly the same ingredients, I'm sure the kids are going to enjoy it. All right, so I am going to season my ground turkey with this fajita blend by Kinder's that I have. And I don't measure, I'm just gonna like cover the top. And actually, instead of like, this is a mix of 2 recipes. So this is how I would start to make the filling to the turkey tacos that I make. It's an Elise Ellis recipe from Macro Friendly Foods. You basically take this, you know, ground turkey, season it up, and add cheese and diced green chilies to it. And then that's like the filling to your tacos, some corn tortillas, the extra thin ones. You put like a spoonful of mixture in them, put them on a baking sheet and bake them. My kids also love that recipe. So this is going to be, let me turn you guys a little bit. This is going to be like a mixture of the two. So we're gonna do like turkey taco lazy enchiladas. That's what we're doing. So I've got the turkey meat and my seasoning. I'm going to just cook this until it's completely cooked through, and then we're gonna add the green chilies, but we're not gonna fill tacos with this. The rest of the recipe is gonna be the lazy enchilada recipe. So I'm gonna get a baking dish out and put my refried beans on the bottom. This is it really doesn't matter. This is a 16-ounce can. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while my turkey cooks. I'm also going to, come over here. I'm also, yeah, see, it's 6:30. It's a little later than I typically start dinner. I'm gonna put my oven to 400. I could probably stay at 350, but I just wanna be able to cook it a little faster. Okay, so oven's preheating, turkey is cooking. I'm gonna get my casserole dish out and get the refried beans kind of smoothed out all across the bottom. Turkey is pretty much done. I think there's just a couple pieces in there that are a little pink. I turned it down, actually I haven't yet, there we go, I thought I did. Just turn it down to medium. I'm gonna add something to that. Got my refried beans spread out, and now I'm going to, I could just put these in here and bake it, it's fine. But I want it to be like easily scoopable. So I'm going to take, I don't know how many, a few, maybe like 3 at a time. And I'm just gonna use a pizza cutter to slice them up into little strips. And then I'm gonna put however many, you know, fit across the bottom. And I'm also gonna do the top, but I'm just gonna do the bottom right now. All right, I'm turning my stove off. Turkey is definitely done. And I'm adding in this can of diced green chilies. Just gonna mix that in there. My oven just beeped, so my oven is ready for me. All right, let me swap these so you guys can see what I'm doing. Do not have enough room in this kitchen. I still haven't put up groceries from yesterday. I mean, the cold stuff is up, but not the pantry items. Okay, so I layered or placed out my tortilla strips that I cut up. It's not quite 3 tortillas. I could have put them closer together, but like I said, I want it just to be like easily scoopable. So now I'm just taking my ground turkey and I'm going to just get it in here as even as possible. Those diced green chilies smell good. All right, I think I can kind of dump the rest here. I've got one of the dogs like at my feet waiting for me to drop something. Okay, I'm just gonna use my spatula to spread it out just as evenly as I can. All right, and then I cut 2 more, so it's a total of 5 that I'm using tortillas. And these are just normal flour tortillas. I swear I've had, oops, I didn't realize those were stuck together. I've had 2 packs of tortillas because the kids were going through a phase where they were making quesadillas a lot. And I've had these 2 packs of tortillas in my refrigerator forever. So I was like, okay, what can I make that's not quesadillas? And I was like, oh, I can, you know, do this little concoction. Okay, so I am gonna like layer this just, okay, that's good. So that's 5 tortillas that I've got there. Hi, Oliver. You guys see Oliver right there. Okay, now what is this? 10 ounce can of red enchilada sauce. And I'm just going to drizzle this over the top. Just to try to get it everywhere. And I mean, if you're like a Verde fan, you can use the green sauce. My kids definitely prefer the red enchilada sauce. Last step, I have the tiniest bit of cheese left in this bag. It's the Fiesta blend from Walmart, great value. So this is definitely gonna be a little more cheesy than I normally make it, because I'm just gonna use the rest of this. So, I mean, not even 2 handfuls. There we go. But then I am going to use this entire bag, so that way I don't have a little bit left over of this. I'm just trying to use up things that are in my kitchen. Pantry, fridge, all the things. So this is an 8-ounce bag, same exact cheese, the Fiesta blend, great value. And I'm just gonna cover the top with this. So pour it out. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave it like that. It's just easier to spread it out like this. I did wash my hands. Okay. And I'm going to, because everything's cooked except for the, you know, the tortillas, we want them to get nice and heated up, and the cheese, I'm gonna put this, again, I put my oven at 400. I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes and just see what it looks like and go from there. Okay, I ended up cooking it for like 4.5 more minutes. I added 5 minutes to the original 10, but took it out at 30 seconds left. So 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I just wanted to make sure it was nice and bubbly. You can just see it bubbling around the edges. So I'm gonna let everybody know it's dinner time, and I will show you guys my plate and what I'm serving with it. All right, dinner is served. This was definitely a little messy getting it out versus the taquitos, because they're like easier to scoop up, but that's all right. I feel like it's still gonna taste delicious. It smells so good. So I just squirt a little bit of sour cream on the top, and then I've got half of an avocado that I just diced up and added to it. So this is what we are having at dinner for our like taco version of a Tuesday night. Welcome to Wednesday. You guys, it is 11:08. I am starting dinner early today. 2 reasons. 1, it's a crock pot meal, so it takes a little longer. And 2, I am going to be getting my hair done tonight. So, well, like late afternoon. I'm leaving around 3, and it's gonna take a couple hours. I'm getting it colored, cut, styled, all the things. Haven't done that in so long. I'm so excited. So it's gonna be a little bit later when I get home, and I don't wanna have to like get right into cooking dinner. So I will have this recipe linked in the description box. Any recipe that I have, I'll link it in the description box for you guys. It's not gonna be exact because I, you know, put my own spin on things, but I'm making Nicole's cheeseburger soup. However, my ingredients and measurements aren't exactly the same as hers, because I am trying to use up what I have on hand. So I'm switching a few things out, adding a few different things. But this is one of Mark's favorite dinners. You guys are staring at my skillet right now. I've got my olive oil heating up, but Mark loves cheeseburger soup, and when you guys are seeing this video, he's already back in town. He's getting back in town tonight, and so I figured with this being one of his favorite meals, it'll be nice for him to come home to this, since he's been eating out the past 2 days. So with that, we are going to brown up some ground beef. I've got a pound here, and I'm gonna break it up a little bit, and then we are going to season it. So I was not planning on making this until next week, but I have all the ingredients, so we're making it now. And then, have I even used this one? Okay, I have. Normally I use the buttery burger blend. I am out of that, so is it gonna focus on this? I'm using the Kinder's Butcher's Burger Blend. It's got a little bit more of a kick to it because of the pepper. And I don't measure this. Very heavy-handed with the seasoning. And I'm actually adding a little bit extra seasoning. I'm gonna go for it because I'm out of one of the seasonings that I'm supposed to put in the soup. And I didn't realize it, so just added it to the grocery list for next week. All right, I just poured the ground beef in here. So obviously you can see all the steam. Hopefully you guys don't get steamed up, but man, this seasoning, I typically grab for the buttery burger blend. I don't know why. I don't even know if I've ever used This Butcher's Burger blend, Mark may have used it on like steak or something because it's been opened, but it smells so good. I'm excited to try this version of cheeseburger soup because most of the time I do stick to her recipe, but like I said, I have a couple other ingredients I want to use up and extras and stuff, so there's only a slight difference. It's pretty much the same, but there is a difference. But yeah, it smells really good. And then speaking of seasoning, going back to last night's dinner that you guys saw, my little concoction that I came up with, kind of putting 2 recipes together, it was okay. It was pretty bland, to be honest. Even Bryce, Pearl did not eat it all. Bryce he ate all of his. I mean, he's a teenage boy, but he was like, Mom, that was not my favorite. And I was like, I know, me too. So I definitely should have either one added more seasoning or like a variety of seasonings instead of just the one Kinder. So maybe like I should have added a taco packet. That's what I should have done. So I will try that again in the future because I really liked it as a casserole, but it was very bland. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you do make it, add a packet of taco seasoning and then come back and tell me how that does with it, because just what I did was not enough. It's just not a whole lot of flavor. So going forward, I'm gonna chop some stuff up and then I'll show you what else we're adding to our crock pot here. Added in 2 very large pieces of celery that I just chopped up. Next up, I added some potatoes. This is 4 potatoes. That's right. It's 3 like medium size and 1 smaller one. Typically, I only add 3 potatoes because I like measure it all out based on her recipe. But I had 4 and these potatoes were getting a little soft and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's gonna make it to like next week or for me to pick up a few more and do something with it. So I just went ahead and threw it in. So it's got a few more potatoes than normal. I do rinse them, give them a little scrub, but I leave the skin on. Very, very yummy that way. All right, I've got some more chopping to do. We've got 2 more things that we're gonna cut up and add to our crock pot. One onion diced up. Mine was not super tiny, but not medium. So I'm gonna say like in between a small and medium size. And I just diced the whole thing up. And last food I needed to chop up is carrots. I did peel the carrots. So I peeled them, chopped them up. It is 3 pretty small carrots. It's all I had left in my fridge. So I just chopped them all up, added them in. Now, let me grab it here. So Nicole uses chicken broth. You'll have to check her recipe out. I do not have chicken broth and I did not buy chicken broth. I guess I could have, but I have this beef broth that has been in my fridge for 2 weeks now. I only used 1 cup out of it and it actually ended up being like 3 1/4 cups. So that's what I'm adding in, 3 1/4 cups of beef broth, but I do typically, Nicole's recipe calls for chicken broth. So I'm using beef instead of chicken. The flavor will just be a little different, but I'm sure this is still gonna be absolutely delicious. Now for some seasonings, I'm going in with about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a heaping teaspoon of salt, 2 heaping teaspoons of garlic powder, and Nicole calls for basil, and I went in my pantry and I guess the last time I used it all and I didn't add it to my list. So I do not have basil, so I'm just adding in a little extra, just however much that was, of the Butcher's Burger blend because it smelled so good when I was cooking it with that ground beef. All right, I'm just using the same spatula. I don't want to dirty a spoon right now and have it sitting out, but I'm using the same spatula. I'm just gonna give this a good mix. Everything together, and then we can turn the crock pot on. Okay, everything's mixed. Getting my lid on, and man, I need to clean my crock pot. It's gross. So I am going to cook it on low, and I think I'm just gonna go up like 10 hours, but I'm just gonna cook it until I get home, and then we'll see how much time it says it has left. I mean, you're really just cooking it for the veggies to get nice and soft. We are the last hour of cook time. I'm gonna be adding in some more ingredients, but I just wanna make sure it's cooking on low for the entire time that I'm out. But you'll have to check her recipe out for if you want like exact time and all that, because I cook it for whatever my schedule allows. Sometimes I don't make this until later on, like a little after lunch, and I'll cook it on high. So since it's 11:40 right now, I'm gonna keep it on low for the rest of the day. Okay, so I'm really glad I started a crock pot meal, but we're not gonna be eating for like another hour because this takes a minute. I'm gonna put this on high actually. So my hair ended up taking about 4 hours. We had to do a process twice. My hair just is a pain when it comes to dyeing it. It always has been. So it actually, remember I put 10 hours on the clock, it only has 2 left. So it's been cooking for 8 hours, but I just added, not this entire thing, I added half of it. So 16 ounces of Velveeta, and then I added a block of cream cheese, the entire one, 8 ounces. And typically I use the 1/3 less fat, but this has been in my fridge forever and I need to use it up. So that's what we are adding in here. I'm gonna turn it on high, and really the only thing we're waiting on is for the cheeses to melt and get all nice and creamy in here. But typically, I mean, that can take up to an hour. Okay, oh dang, whoa. All right, I just put it on keep warm. Pearl just got out of her weeknight church camp, so she's at a friend's house. Mark left to go pick her up. It's 8:15, we're eating late. But I went ahead and got my bowl out so I could show you guys. I'm so excited to dig in. I'm starving. And if you guys watched my $500 Walmart grocery haul, I don't know if I have another, if I'm gonna post like next week's small, hopefully, grocery haul before this video or after. But it was in the $500. I did not need to buy garlic knots because I have 2 boxes in my freezer. I just couldn't see them. I mean, they're like right there. Like I saw them when I opened the door, but for some reason I didn't see them when I was making my grocery list. So I had another box of them, the Great Value. So I went ahead and baked those up because definitely you want that for dipping in the cheesy goodness that is in this cheeseburger soup. But like I mentioned already, this is Mark's favorite. So you guys are definitely gonna want to try this. Check out Nicole's video. She has the recipe posted on her YouTube channel. So all right, Wednesday night dinner, we're ready to dig in. Okay, another night, another dinner, and I think this is gonna be the last one that I share with you guys in this video, but I do have several more coming up. I mean, obviously it's dinner every night, right? So I do have some more recipes that I'm going to be making the following week. And the next couple days, like going into over the next week. But I feel like that would just be too long to do an entire week in one video. So I'm just gonna share the 4, right? Is this, yeah, this is day 4. So, well, technically it's day 5. It's Friday. Yesterday, Thursday, we had some leftovers because I was running out of room in my fridge. So we had the rest of the, what is it? The ravioli from Monday night. And then I think Pearl had cheeseburger soup. So the rest of us had the ravioli, Pearl had cheeseburger soup. So we cleaned out that, but I'm making the side dish first, which is just going to be a quick little caprese salad. So I put in an entire package of the little fresh mozzarella pearls. What is this, 8 ounces? So I tossed that in there. And now, you guys, it's only been, when did I get groceries? I mean, less than a week. And look at my basil. It like looks so gross. I was hoping to have, oh snap, I'm dropping it all over the place. I was hoping to have some going into next week, but I'm not gonna use any of this brown. I mean, there's brown in every single piece, so I'm just gonna pick off the ones that look the best. And hopefully, I feel like it'll be enough for this, because this is just gonna be a small little side salad. The only one who, I mean, everybody in the house except for Bryce enjoys this, but it's not like we get a ton. It's just, you know, a little bit. I mean, these ones are okay. They're just a little brown, but I'm kind of disappointed, not that one, on how like quick they got brown. It's crazy. So anyway, I'm gonna salvage what I can from this, and then I'm just gonna do a little mince. It smells good though, nice and potent, that's for sure. All right, let me move this bowl out of the way. So all I do for herbs is I just kind of put a few together, stack them up, and then I roll them. I'll move these other ones out of the way. I don't want them to be like too big, so I'm gonna cut this in half. And then I'm just going to kind of like dice them up and then toss them in the bowl. Yeah, these are like not the freshest. I'm having a hard time. I should have made this first, I guess. But normally, any kind of produce, even herbs, last a couple weeks in my fridge. This is the first time it's like gone brown that quick. Okay, I'm just adding that into my bowl with the mozzarella. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the rest of them. Okay, there's the basil. That's actually a good amount, so that's good. I like a lot of basil though, but that'll be fine. Okay, next up, I'm gonna eyeball it. I think I'm gonna use this whole thing because I wanna have extras of this so I can snack on it over the weekend, but all I'm doing is halving these cherub tomatoes. So I'm just gonna cut them in half, add them to my bowl. Oh, these are nice and firm. Or I need to sharpen my knives because I'm having to put some pressure on these. Yeah, I'm gonna cut up all of them. Okay, and then I'm also going to add in an avocado because these avocados turned real quick. Actually, we'll see once I open this up if I can use it or not. Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use it. But yeah, see how it's starting to turn? So I'm gonna go ahead and add this in there, and I just like slice the inside. Well, when I'm mixing it into things like this, when I want them to be like little pieces, I just slice it up and then I like squeeze it a little. And let me get my bowl, and I'm just gonna squeeze it in my bowl. Ta-da! Just comes right out. I'm not worried about this being pretty, you guys. I just want it to taste good, okay? I don't care about my kids are old enough now where it doesn't have to like look super appetizing. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. So I'm just putting one avocado in here. I was about to say I only have one person in the house who doesn't like avocado, and that's Bryce, but he doesn't like this at all. He's gonna be the only one that doesn't eat this. He doesn't like Caprese, so the rest of us like avocado. So I'm just gonna add that in there so these avocados don't go bad. See how like easily mushable they are? Yeah, they are super ripe. I mean, we only have 3 left out of that bag. There were 6 in there. So now we're gonna add a little salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna do a pinch of pepper. And then we're gonna do a bigger pinch of salt. Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit more salt. There we go. And then that is it for now. When I serve this, I will have, actually I already pulled it out so I can show it to you guys. I'll have this on the side, this balsamic glaze, because some of my kids just like it fresh like this. And we like our own, like Mark will probably add a ton of the balsamic glaze. I just kind of drizzle it over the top because I like mine fresh too. And actually I don't think Rose likes the balsamic glaze at all. So you could totally put it on this and just serve it like that, so it's less, you know, anybody has to worry about. I'm just trying to break up the mozzarella pearls since I just kind of dumped it in the bowl. But that's all I'm doing now. I'm gonna get it in the fridge. I made this first, that way it can chill for a little bit. So I'm gonna get this in the fridge and it's gonna chill while we make the main portion of our dinner tonight. Okay, my dogs are in total play mode right now, so you're probably gonna hear them. I can't put them outside because it's raining. So they're currently in the living room just having a good time together, rough playing, or rough housing. So I do have my oven preheating to 425. I'm gonna bake something up, and I've got my skillet on the stovetop with a little bit of oil in there, and I'm adding in a pound of ground beef. I am going to season it. This is garlic powder, and I just like to your heart's desire, okay? I just kind of cover the top. I don't measure. And then I'm doing the same thing with onion powder. This one I can't just like squeeze out like the garlic. I have to kind of give it a little shaky shake. So there we go, cover the top. And I'm just going to cook this until it's completely done. My ground beef is done. I turn the heat all the way down to low. And I am adding in a can of Bold Manwich Sloppy Joe sauce. Actually, I need to get a spoon so I can scrape out, ooh, every last bit of that. All right, I got as much as I could out of that can. So I have it all the way down to low, and I'm just going to let this heat on low until everything else is ready. So obviously we're having sloppy joes, but I don't have hamburger buns. I've got something else in mind. I don't remember where I saw it. Either I saw it like scrolling Pinterest. I haven't like gone through my boards to see if I have it saved anywhere. I just remember seeing it. So either on Pinterest or like somebody else watching a video or something for meal ideas. I don't remember, but I saw it a long time ago. So when I was at the grocery store and thinking about what we wanted to have for dinner this week, and I was just like all in our cozy feels, like family favorite ideas, I was like, we're gonna have sloppy joes, but we're gonna do it a different way. So let me fix you guys here. Since I had you pointing down, my oven just beeped. Oops, sorry pups. And I have 2 boxes of Texas toast here. There's 8 slices in each. We are most likely going to have leftovers. Now, right now it's only myself, Bryce, and a friend. He has a friend over. But I know Mark will eat when he gets home from school. And then I don't know if the girls are eating. They're at a friend's house right now. I don't know if they're eating dinner there or if they're going to be hungry when they get home, because they're not even going to be home for about another hour. And it's 6:11 right now. I forgot to tell you the time when I started dinner. It's 6:11 right now. So I'm baking both boxes, and my idea is they can either put the sloppy joe mix like on a toast and then top it with another toast, and that's like a massive sloppy joe sandwich. Or they can do like open faced, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you mine open faced, and I think I'm going to have 2. So I am going to end up having 2 pieces of the garlic toast, but with the sloppy joe mixture on top. So I'm going to get these in the oven. I'm going to bake them for about 9 minutes. Typically I will flip them. But since we're going to be putting something on one side, I'm just going to bake them for 9 minutes instead of flipping them about halfway through. So that's going to go in, and I'm just going to keep this on low, stirring it every now and then while the garlic bread is cooking. I need to get some like under cabinet lighting. I haven't filmed a whole bunch of like food content here in this house, especially because it's storming outside too. So it's like super dark, but I am so excited to dig in. This smells delicious. It looks good. It definitely can't wait for the Caprese. So yeah, I went ahead and made 2. We'll see if I can end up eating 2, because I did get like a large serving of the Caprese, and I just drizzled the balsamic glaze on top. And then I like to add cheese to my sloppy joes. So I just put a piece of Colby Jack on top of each, and this is dinner for this Friday night. So I've got, you know, the spread out for, I mean, it's only 2 boys here at the house with me, so I'll call them down. But I hope you guys enjoyed these 4 dinners that I made this past week. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new. I'm going to continue making a few more and film them, so it should be out the next week. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in the next one. I need to start eating. Bye.